Hi again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Happy Thursday, I hope you guys are having the most amazing day ever so far and thank you so much for joining me here today. Today we are building a cozy honeymoon getaway house in the brand new world that has just shipped with The Sims 4 My Wedding Stories game pack, Tartosa. And this house is a 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom? Wow, I think that's a new world record even for me. 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom rental home for your Sims to enjoy after they've gotten married. That is the whole point of this house. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is my third attempt at building something in this new world. This style of house is very uncomfortable for me. I'm just being honest. Cards on the table right now. I'm being deadly honest right now. It's just not my style of building, so it did take me a little while to get into the swing of things. I of course did my wedding, my beach wedding venue. I will link that up in the top right hand corner for you now if you haven't seen that already. That's a good one to consider watching. That was when we got early access to the pack and we built this gorgeous venue on the beach. But in terms of architectural style in this world, very uncomfortable for me. It's not my kind of go-to style. So it took me a little while and a bit of research to figure out how I was going to navigate around this. And so I think I came up with something really quite sweet. And how I decided to come up with the style for this house, I googled some Greek style houses on Pinterest, and this is kind of what we came up with. I did a bit of a mishmash of 2 separate images merged into one to come up with the idea for this particular house. And although I'm really happy with how it came out, the style being the way it is, and my build style, it's just not my kind of cup of tea, if that makes sense. I'm so not very good at explaining things, but I hope that makes sense. Although I enjoyed building this, I do enjoy building new styles, but I also enjoy staying with what's comfortable because I'm a bit of a creature of habit. I don't know if anyone else is the same. I'm a creature of habit, so change for me is a little bit unnerving. I'm always scared that I'm not going to do the style justice or I'm going to mess it up somehow, and I put so much pressure on myself that I end up not enjoying the process. I know I'm overthinking this, but overall, I think considering it turned out really quite cute. I think this is the lot that I've spoken about in my world overview, which I will also link in the top right for you if you haven't seen that one already. I did like a world overview of Tartosa, which is something that I haven't really ever done before. When I had early access to the pack, I decided to do a world and kind of lot overview. And I did mention in that overview that I wanted to build my next house on this particular lot. This is the lot. I'm trying to have a look at what it says, but my reshade unfortunately blurs out the images ever so slightly. So I can't remember the name of the lot, but it's where the secluded little island is, and it's so sweet and the lighting is absolutely gorgeous. So I decided that I wanted to build here, and I knew right off the bat that I wanted to build a honeymoon rental home for your Sims to enjoy, because I think the next step for me is definitely going to be like a proper house where your Sims can live here full time. That'll definitely be the next step. And then I think I'm going to step away from this world for a little while and get back to my normal suburban houses and my family apartments and stuff like that, and then I'll come back to it again. This is just what I do when we get a niche world. I did the same thing with Forgotten Hollow, but I didn't have my YouTube channel when we got Forgotten Hollow, so that's kind of irrelevant anyway. But when we get a niche world like this, I tend to do a few builds in concession, and then I'll leave it for a while, and then I'll come back in a few weeks, in a few months time, and I'll build something different because I'll have learned some new stuff and I'll be able to give you guys some new content. So I think for me, after I've done this, I'm maybe going to do a suburban house or an apartment, and then I'll come back and I'll do some sort of residential house for this world, and then we'll step away again, and then we'll come back again. And yeah, I don't think you guys really needed to know that, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. So we've already done the exterior of this house. I wanted to keep it really colourful, really fresh, vibrant, youthful, and just a really sweet place, and the kind of place that you would want to pull up to and be like, wow, this is where we're staying for the next few days. That was kind of what I wanted to go for. And now we're already onto the interior. So as you can see, it's not a particularly large house, but I knew that going in. I didn't want it to make it huge because it's a honeymoon getaway house. So this is definitely designed for just the two Sims to come on their honeymoon. If you wanted to turn this into a residential house, I don't think it would take too much, but there are certain elements of it that I was kind of thinking, okay, well, that would work really, really well for a honeymoon house. So the first room we work on is the living space, and I decided to keep this kind of neutral palette throughout the house. And you may be surprised with the items that I decided to use. I use some sofas eventually. It did take me some time. You'll see me going through a few different options for the different sofas. I go through like ones from Seasons, I go through ones from Jungle Adventure. And I was like, this isn't working at all. I try to link in the exterior with the interior of my builds as much as I can, mainly so that when the screenshots are posted, particularly on my Tumblr page, particularly over there, I like it to look like it's all fluid and it kind of just flows really nicely and all the colours are intertwined and it all makes sense, you know? So with this particular one, we use sofas from Snowy Escape. I know that seems really, really weird, but I think it works. The interior style is, I don't think it has one particular style, this house, but I think it kind of works because it's like a honeymoon getaway house. So all I wanted was it to be, I wanted it to be, excuse me, fresh and open and just like really cozy. Like your Sims can cuddle up on the sofa and by candlelight have a couple of glasses of wine, watch some TV. I just wanted it to be an escape, and I'm hoping we achieve that with this. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below what you think, but I'm hoping we achieve that with this. All I kept thinking was honeymoon getaway, honeymoon getaway, honeymoon getaway, because that's of course the whole point of this lot. So for me, again, very uncomfortable, but after I'd done the living room, the rest of the house kind of flowed. Now, my plan was to have this video out last night. So I actually came home from work yesterday and I finished the living room and the kitchen dining space. And then I was sat there and I kind of hit this builder's block. And I hate hitting a builder's block midway through a build because it kind of puts me off. But I stepped away last night and I was like, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll feel really refreshed. After work today, I had the most horrendous headache you can ever imagine. I've still got a little bit of a twinge now, but it's manageable. And I was like, I have to go home now and finish this house, edit the footage, do the voiceover, edit all the screenshots, do the thumbnail, all that stuff. And I was like, I want to do this more than anything. So I'm just going to crack on and I'm going to do it. But oh my gosh, it has been a painful journey, this house. I feel like if I had have enjoyed it a little bit more, I would have enjoyed the process a bit more. But again, because the style's a little bit uncomfortable for me, I don't think I've enjoyed the process as much as I could have done or have done in the past with previous builds. But in saying that, I do think it's important to try different styles of builds. And I go back to what I said at the start, me being me, I don't try enough different kinds of build styles. I don't know if you guys have noticed over the past month or two, I've been trying different things. So I've tried like a 6-bedroom townhouse, I've tried an off-the-grid lake cabin, we've tried a Victorian home in Strangerville. I'm trying to broaden my horizons a bit rather than just building in the same worlds and building the same kinds of houses, because I have to appreciate that you guys have a wide variety of tastes, and I'm trying to cater for as many people as I can, because I also want to enjoy it myself. Anyway, living room's done. I digress. Living room's done. We are now onto the kitchen. And because this style was, again, uncomfortable for me, I'm gonna say that word quite a lot in this speed build, just as forewarning. Because the style was uncomfortable for me, I was trying to come up with this like color palette, and then I'm thinking, okay, well, what items can we use? So we do use a few items from the Jungle Adventure pack because, of course, they are quite tropical themed, and I definitely wanted this getaway house to feel like it belonged, you know, along the beach. Not the beach. It's not really the beach, is it? It's like near the ocean. That's my chair squeaking. I did mention this in one of my other speed builds, and you didn't even hear it in the voiceover, but I feel like maybe you could hear it. My chair's gone a bit squeaky and I don't really know why, so I'm always really conscious that you can hear it in the voiceover, so I apologise. If you can hear it, I will edit it out. I don't even know why I'm mentioning it. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yes, used a few items from Jungle Adventure with them being tropical themed. I used a few items from... which kit did we get? I'm just having a look on my phone now, but I will just keep rambling and ranting so that there's no like dead noise. There's a kit that we received a few months ago and I'm trying to remember the name of it. I did use a few items from that kit. I used, let me see. What is it? What is it, please? Oh no, this is terrible. I can't remember the name of the kit. Why can I not remember it? Sorry, Courtyard Oasis. I do apologise. The Courtyard Oasis kit. And I use a few items from that kit in this as well. So although we're merging a few different styles, the overall theme for the house was for it just to be kind of like this tropical home that you Sims can enjoy. Like that was basically it. I didn't want to go over the top with all these different like colours and all these bright turquoises and oranges and yellows, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it relatively neutral whilst maintaining the theme. So I'm hoping we did that with this. It's really funny, you know, because I was actually having a look at some of my builds from back in the day. And I have talked about this on the channel before, but back in the day I was only on Tumblr. I didn't have Twitter, I didn't have YouTube, I didn't have Instagram, and so it was just Tumblr. And there's definitely, or there was, excuse me, definitely when I started my Tumblr 8 years ago now. I can't believe that, 8 years ago, that's such a long time ago. 8 years ago now, there was definitely like this Tumblr sort of style for building, and I definitely fell into that. And I think when I started my YouTube channel, you can kind of see that back in my earlier stuff. I am in no way saying go back and check out my earlier videos, because first of all, the builds are nowhere near as good, the voiceovers are nowhere near as entertaining. They are now. I'm so uncomfortable and it's just like, oh no, what am I doing? But you can see how my style's kind of changed, and normally there is a point to the story. I would like default to all these bright eccentric colors, and I have noticed, particularly in the last, I'd say maybe year or two, that my style has definitely changed, and I prefer like neutral colors with pops of color, or maybe just all neutral. It's really, really strange how your tastes can change so much in, I'd say, a short space of time, but it's quite a long time really, isn't it? Anyway, going off on another ramble as I normally do. So the kitchen's pretty much done. This is like the small dining area as part of that. Now I did include a bathroom on the ground floor because the ensuite upstairs isn't really that big, so I thought I didn't really know what else to do with this sort of awkward space here. I knew that I didn't want any room to be huge, and had I not put this bathroom in, the kitchen dining space would have just been too big, and when you compare it to the size of the living room, I just don't think it would have worked all that well. So there's a lot of plants in here, there's a lot of clutter. I think there's a lot going on in such a small space, but I think it kind of works as well. So you'll have to let me know if you agree or disagree. Again, style I'm not comfortable with, so you'll please bear with me. It's not the easiest thing for me to do, but I end up making this room here like a separate dining area, because I thought maybe if your Sims met another couple on the island, they could maybe invite them over for a dinner party or something, and maybe all four of them could just sit and enjoy a nice meal. I thought that was a really nice idea. I didn't really know what else to do with this space. So I was like, well, what can I do here? So my only thought was to turn it into a separate dining room. I suppose if you wanted to, you could turn it into like an informal living area, or maybe like a hangout space where we could put a chess table and all that stuff, but I just didn't think for the type of lot that we were going for that any of that really fit. So I thought this was the most appropriate thing. So you'll have to let me know what you think. Again, there's not a lot going on, but I tried to just keep the style as sort of coherent as I possibly could, even though, again, I'm not going to say the word because I've already said it a million times. Anyway, downstairs bathroom is really long and skinny, but we did end up fitting a bath and a shower in here, so I thought that was quite handy. So maybe if your Sims have spent the day at the beach and they're feeling a bit salty, you know, from the sea, salty, they could just come back and just enjoy a nice bath or a shower. What am I talking about? I feel like this headache / migraine has kind of turned my brain into mush today. I need to get this video out today though, so you'll have to cope with another rambly voiceover. In my beach wedding venue voiceover, that was particularly hard to listen back to because I don't know what was going on, but like my voiceover was just all over the place. I think it's when I sit down and try and record them quite late at night. So at the moment it's just gone 9 p.m. here and I'm recording this voiceover. Bearing in mind I've been at work all day as well. I've been out of the house since just before 8 o'clock this morning, so it's a long day considering. So I think I've just gone a bit loopy. Anyway, this is the one and only bedroom, the master bedroom. I decided because it was a honeymoon lot that it was okay for the stairs to just lead up directly into the house rather than there being a hallway, because there's no need for any privacy, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. So not much going on in here. I struggled for a little while with what to put where because it's quite an awkward space given that the stairs are in here as part of the room as well. But I think we made the best of the situation, and I did struggle for a while trying to figure out which particularly artwork. I was like, what artwork do we put on the wall? I have no idea. And I think this dresser is from Jungle Adventure, and I'm hesitating when I say that because it might not be, so I apologize. But if you are returning to the channel, you will know by now that I'm not too good with knowing where certain items are from what packs. I'm terrible, in fact. I'm really no good. So I just tried to make this space like really light and airy, and of course the windows here, they're from Jungle Adventure if I remember correctly. This really nice blue colour, and with the pink outside too, I just thought it made it pop so much, and I just really enjoy it. I think it's a really sweet looking house, and although it's not my normal style, I'm really happy with how it came out. But you'll have to let me know if you've got any Sims in mind as to who you might want to come here and rent out the space for however long it might be. But yes, I don't know. So I might start wrapping up. I'm having a look at the time now. I always wrap up quite early and then I feel like I do it really quickly and then I end the video quite abruptly. I'm trying to gauge when to sort of do it. I'm thinking around now because after we've done this ensuite, we then move out onto the balcony and there's not much going on there. So you can grab this house from the gallery. My origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description box below. You can get them for free from Sim File Share, but I just wanted to thank you all so much for joining me here today. You guys take care, and I will see you next time I post a video. Bye everyone!